Today, we're going to be ranking fat distribution from over all the way down to it doesn't matter. So as most of you are aware or unaware, 90% of fat distribution is completely genetic. Hormones also play a role, but the fact is people hold fat in different areas, and this is why they'll say things like, I have this stubborn fat I can't get rid of in my hips or in my stomach. It's usually the last bit of fat that goes. So the first one, and a super common one, is the lower back and just around the back in general. And a lot of the time, the last bit of fat that goes, I mean, even some bodybuilders that hop on stage do look a bit soft around the lower back. And this is sort of our body's like fat reservoir. So it's super common for you to hold fat in this area. And I don't think it looks that bad. However, it does contribute to like your waist circumference. Yeah, 100%. And I think when you do finally get rid of that last little bit of fat, it just gives you that very aesthetic appearance. You know, when you take off your shirt and you got the Christmas tree going on and there's like no folds going over the bottom bit at all. I'd say that's very rewarding, but you do have to get pretty lean to do that. I would just have to put it in unaesthetic. Yeah, for sure. Next, we have the love handle. So right next to the lower back, and you seem to just hold like a tire around the sides of your waist. Now, this contributes a lot to your waist circumference, or it might even give you like a bit of an hourglass figure, which looks kind of feminine, which is a huge L. But once again, this is like a super common place to hold fat, and it's completely normal. Yeah, very normal. A lot of guys have this. Once again, you do have to get pretty lean to really thin out that area, but it is very rewarding when you do because it gives you that V-taper, and honestly, that is one of the best parts about having a good physique. It's the most attractive part about your physique. So if you are holding fat in this area and you have to get very lean to remove that fat, it's an L, man. Next, we have holding fat in your face. You know, some people can be very lean and they're still holding lots of fat in their face. And that's why I just say getting lean and like even just starting the gym is one of the biggest looks maxes you can ever do. Because most people before they start the gym are like 17, 18% body fat or over, which a lot of that fat will be stored in your face. And a lot of this can be inflammation and water retention as well. And a lot of it just contributes to your face being super round and no angularity. If you have no confidence and you don't like the way you look in photos or in the mirror or just taking selfies because you just don't like the look of your face, first thing I'll tell you to do is get to 10% body fat. True 10% body fat and see how your face looks. It will skyrocket your confidence and you won't believe how much it can change in terms of your face, and you will never want to go back, man. I mean, even like at the lower body fat percentages, like there is a huge difference in how your face looks from 11% to 8%. And then even down from 8% to 5%. Honestly, that's where it kind of becomes a bit detrimental. You kind of get like a sunken in face, but there is a sweet spot around 10% body fat, I believe. Your face just looks super dull. It looks like vacuum sealed to your jawline. But if you are holding an unusual amount of fat in your face, which I have seen in some people, yeah, I'd have to say it's a pretty big L. I mean, your face card is hugely important in this world. I'd say it's over, man. Next, we have holding fat in your stomach. This is the most common place you hold fat, and it'll be pretty much the main difference in the look of your physique when you drop from higher body fat percentages, like all the way from 30% body fat all the way down to 15. The main difference you'll notice in your physique will be in your face and your stomach. That's like the first thing my clients need to do is get rid of the stomach, and then we can start talking about other things you need to do. Another thing that massively impacts the look of your gut is actually visceral fat. That's the fat around your organs and around your intestines and your liver, not the subcutaneous fat, which actually gives you that distended gut look. If you've ever seen those dads with those big guts, but they're lean everywhere else in their arms, this is most likely the reason. It's from being in a bad hormonal environment for a long period of time, but mainly insulin resistance. They've been eating the wrong foods for way too long, and this is very hard to lose. Yeah, I mean, once you're insulin resistant for an extended period of time, that visceral fat will just accumulate. Eventually, you'll just have like this bubble gut, and it's why a lot of dads just kind of look like the Michelin Man. It's just super tragic, man. I'm gonna put this into unaesthetic though, because pretty much everyone holds fat in their stomach. And like we always say, guys, the best fat distribution is no fat distribution. Your goal right now, if you're watching this video and you're over 18% body fat, is to get as fat-free as possible. Don't even put a percent on it. Just get as fat-free as possible, and you're gonna do that by eating whole foods, only clean food. Guys, you have to be strict if you want to stand out these days. If you're trying to do that, if you're trying to build an aesthetic physique, you know where to go. First link in the description, it will give you everything you need to know. Holding fat in your arms. Now, I think this is kind of me. Like, my arms don't get really lean and like start to separate till I'm below 11% body fat. I mean, it's kind of a dub and an L at the same time because it contributes to your arm circumference, but visually it doesn't look as impressive. It's just doesn't separate as much, not as much veins run through there. I know there's a lot of people that store like no fat in their arms. Yeah, these are like the lunch lady arms. This is what I noticed with people who are truly obese and they start getting like the sausage roll arms, or like, you know, the hot dogs on the strings. It starts to look like that. It is a terrible look. It looks like an actual illness if they truly have like those big fat arms. It's like drop the arm routine, you know?
That only happens at like 35, 40% body fat. If you're just like a relatively in shape guy, but you just hold a lot of fat in your arms, I don't think it matters that much, honestly, unless you really like are looking for bodybuilding points and are trying to get like striations and shit.
I just have to put this in anesthetic, I guess.
Next, we have holding fat in your legs. I think this goes along with the arm thing. I think guys that are genetically blessed with holding no fat in their arms also really don't hold a lot of fat in their legs.
Yeah, for sure. But we all know legs don't matter, guys. You know, that's why they invented pants. Nah, but legitimately, if you hold fat in your legs, it's not going to matter too much, because if you're getting really that lean, your legs are still going to look good.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're looking for bodybuilding points, once again, does it really matter if you got like feathered quads or anything?
Yeah, and we're talking doesn't matter in terms of aesthetics, in terms of building a physique that looks very aesthetic. I'd say it doesn't really matter, man.
Unless it's to like an extreme amount, but that's just like so rare. Holding fat in your titties. And a lot of people get confused whether this is gyno or it's just chest fat. And a lot of the time it's a combination of the two. When you're in a calorie surplus and when you gain irresponsible amounts of body fat, what will happen in that adipose tissue is that testosterone will aromatize into estrogen. And it's why if you dirty bulk too hard, or you know, were super irresponsible when you were younger and you gained a lot of body fat and then you strip that body fat off, you'll find that you actually gained some gyno in the process. And this was actually me when I was in high school, right? I got on the beers at the age of like 16 every single weekend. That probably contributed to it as well. And I was just eating whatever foods I want, and I got kind of fluffy, right? I then started the gym. I didn't think anything of it. And when I got leaner, I noticed I've actually got a little bit of gyno. And I assume it was from that point, right? It was from just getting to like 20%, 22% body fat.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're literally converting to a female. You're getting breasts. Very unaesthetic. It looks very feminine. It does not look good, man. This just looks terrible. You want to have pecs. You don't want tits, man. So,
I mean, it depends if it's gyno or it's actually chest fat. If we're talking about actual chest fat, it's pretty rare that that's like the main place you'll store fat if you're relatively lean. Like if you're below 15% body fat, you're probably not going to hold like an exorbitant amount of fat in your chest. If you do have problems, it's probably just gyno.
Yeah, I have seen some guys though where they're kind of lean, maybe 18% body fat, and then they have these little folds here.
I'm going to put this into L if it's actually just chest fat and not gyno. And that was it, guys. Kind of a stupid tier list, I know, because if you just get lean, you'll hold fat nowhere. That's the beauty of it, guys. If you are trying to get rid of that little stubborn fat, whether it's in your love handles, whether it's in your stomach, you know the solution. It's to get lean. And we help guys get fucking shredded inside the Spartan Protocol. You can click that button right there to start today. It's 80% off. It won't be that price forever. But if you join now, you lock it in forever. It's got everything you need to know to build not only a physique, but how to leverage your physique for real world results, which no one talks about. How to actually get dates from your physique, how to make money from your physique, and even how to looks max and do everything you need to make a complete transformation. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.